Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Once Bhagavan in his poem defined what does it mean to be a Sadguru or who is a Sadguru, and he said, Vishwa Shantini Chekurche Vidamu Neripi Sankuchita Bhavamulella Samaya Jesi Samata Nirpunade Vade Sadgurudu Sarmata Nirpunde Vade Sadgurudu means the one who shows the way to world peace and removes narrow mindedness from people and teaches equanimity to all. Such a person alone is Sadguru. So, if you look at our mission now, first criteria is Vishwa Shanti, world peace, and a way to world peace. It's not just about having a discussion or having just a conference and some kind of a conversation and dialogue, but it is about showing the way to world peace. And what could be a better way to show how to attain world peace than to treat everybody as their own family, that everybody as their very own, and then you will be at peace. Because when your finger hurts your eyes, you don't punish the finger. Is also yours, eye is also yours. So you forgive the finger. In fact, you are careful next time. With the same finger, you rub the eyes and make sure that it is comfortable. Likewise, when I often tell that while eating or while talking, inadvertently bite our tongue and it bleeds. But then we don't break our teeth away and punish them because we know teeth are also ours, tongue is also ours. So, yes, within a family also, sometimes there are disagreements and conflicts, but then because we are a family, we learn to forgive and forget and learn to live with each other. That is the way to the world peace. The second criteria he says is Sankuchita Bhavamula Nella Samaya Chesi, to even out all those narrow minded feelings. I and them, I, mine, and they and theirs. What we call today as us versus them. So that idea of narrow mindedness also is removed. It means selfishness is removed and selflessness is taught. And the third one is Samata, Nirpunadevade. Samata means equanimity, equal mindedness in all situations of life. So when you learn these three things from someone, such a person alone is Sadguru. The way to world peace, he not only shows the way, knows the way, but goes the way also. That is the way a teacher should be. Should be able to remove selfish narrow-mindedness from the people and help them think broad-mindedly, help them think selflessly. And the third is give them the ability to go through the motions of life, ups and downs, challenges and opportunities with equanimity, with equal mindedness. So if you learn all these things from someone, such a person alone is a Sadguru. So back to Ashtavakra, who is also a Sadguru, because what is he teaching Janaka? He is teaching these things, how to be at peace, because unless you are at peace, how can you bring world peace? If you are restless and angry and frustrated, how can you bring peace to others? So Ashtavakra says, first you transform yourselves. You learn the truth so that the truth will let you be at peace, let you be happy. Once you are happy and peaceful, only then you can spread happiness and peace to others. That is what is the role of a king. A king must have a peaceful kingdom, a kingdom where everybody is happy and joyful, where everybody is satisfied and everybody is living their true purpose. And that a king must enable, facilitate. And unless the king is a jnani, how can he create jnana in his kingdom? So, Yatha Raja Tatha Praja. So, Ashtavakra has transformed Janaka by teaching him all these things, how to bring peace to his kingdom, how to teach people to live for each other selflessly, and how to go through the motions of life. Even as a king, you will have good days and bad days. How do you go through it with equanimity so that you don't lose your balance and you are able to do your job with greater efficiency? So all this our Janaka has learnt, and so the discourse is going on. Ashtavakra is continuously talking about it, and in this chapter, 15th chapter also, he keeps telling him that do not treat yourself as the body, not even treat body as yours. It is a rented vehicle in which you are traveling. That's about it. Do not pay too much of attention to it, because the more attention you pay to it, the more it becomes desirous of it. And then once you get addicted to the body, it's very difficult to de-addict yourself. Digital de-addiction is possible. Deham de-addiction is very difficult. Because once you get used to that, it's very difficult. And unfortunately, all of us are so addicted to the body because we believe that is all is our existence and identity. Without body, we don't exist. We think we don't have an identity and existence. So that scares us because death scares us. So death means end of the body. End of the body means our end of our existence. That is the fear. That's why we hold on to the body so strongly, because that is the only identity we know of. But our scriptures say no. You have been here many, many times and in different bodies, in different situations, born to different parents, doing different things in different lifetimes. This is not the first time. So once you know that, then you are free from this attachment to the body. That knowledge is the knowledge of the self, which in the last one he said, Naham deho, natvam deho, nate deho. You are not the body is also not yours. Therefore, bhokta, karta, nava bhavan. Therefore, doer and enjoyer also you can't be, because doing is happening through the body and enjoying also is happening in the body. So you start associating with it. No, you don't associate with the body, and you are not the doer and you are not the enjoyer of it. Just a witness, he says. Chidruposi. You are the eternal one, Chit, forever, aware. Why? Because you have come here several times in different bodies. That is the concept. And Sada Sakshi. You are forever the witness of all that happens through your body. As if you are watching your own body do its things. And that is why you are nirapekshaha, you are free of all desires, because you know this is not your body, not this body is yours. So what is the point in getting too attached to it? It will go away one day. So why should we invest in it so much that one day we will find it so difficult to get rid of it? Because we get so attached. So he says treat it only as a rented vehicle or rented instrument which you have to return. And sukham chara, thereby be happy. Go about doing what you have got to do happily, because body is not the end. One clear indicator of one's spiritual progress is how much you have overcome the fear of your own death. If you don't have fear of death, you have really gained a lot of spirituality. Now, soldiers are also not afraid of death. They also go and do things. And now I see this new generation who make Instagram reels. What kind of stunts they do to just get a reel, and people die in the process, hanging from a bridge, jumping from a cliff, just to make reels which will go into internet and become viral, and they can earn followerships and money. How many crazy things people do in the name. So they are also not afraid of death in a way. But are they spiritual is the question. No. They are not afraid of death because foolish people are also not afraid of death. Adventurous, misadventurous people are also not afraid of death because they are fools. But a jnani is not afraid of death because he knows the truth behind it. Soldier is not afraid of death because of the passion, the rajas, or whatever the patriotism that he has to kill the enemy. Some adventurous people are not afraid of that. They climb up Mount Everest and they swim through English Channel and God knows what all, because they are desirous of name, fame, or achievements. They have overcome the fear of death. But or warriors or soldiers and things like that. But the jnani is also not afraid of death because he knows the truth that death is not the end and birth is not the beginning. Life goes on. You are a flow. And these are pit stops. They come and go like stations come and go in a journey of the train. But you continue to travel as this self. So that is why jnana is not afraid of death. If you want to really check whether you are getting anywhere close to jnana, ask yourself, are you afraid of death? Not only your death, anybody's death around you. Because if your beloved ones die, you also die along with it. Because it's so much of attachment. In any ways, you should not be afraid of anybody's death. Afraid or attached. You should not be. Once you are not, you know that you have attained some jnana at least in life to begin with. So that is the idea. So first, this shloka, what he says, you are not the body is also not yours. Just get over this attachment to the body and be free. Be a witness to all that happens to this body and be free. Next shloka, what does he do? In the next shloka, he says, remove the idea of body. In the next shloka, he removes the idea of mind also. The next thing is mind. Okay, I'm not the body, but all the thoughts and emotions and that I go through, is that not me? This identity that I have, that I am a teacher, lecturer, whatever, businessman, woman, man, whatever. So he says in 15.5 shloka, Raga dvesho manodharmo na manaste kadachana nirvikalpo si bodhatma nirvikaraha sukham chara. Raga dvesha, this attraction and aversion. These are the two things that drive us. We are running towards things or we are running away from things. This is all we do all our lives. What we like, we run towards it. What we don't like, we run away from it. So raga is attachment, dvesha is hatred or aversion. So attachments and aversions or attractions and aversions are the only ways that we know how to live this life. Either whole day we are spending trying to get what we like or trying to avoid what we don't like. Sukha prapti, dukha nivrutti. Trying to attain happiness and trying to avoid sorrows. This is all that we do whole life. If you really boil it down to what is this central purpose of what we do, it is this. We love something, we want it. We don't like something, we avoid it. That's all we do. So raga dvesha is manodharmo. It is the nature of the mind. Dharma here means the nature. Nature of what? Your mind. Mind is attracted by certain things and mind is repelled by other things. It is the nature of the mind to avoid sorrow and to attain happiness. That is the basic nature. Don't pay too much of attention, he says, basically. It is the nature of the mind. Don't give too much of attention to it. Na manaste kadachana. You are not the mind ever. Not at all. You are not at all the mind. Because mind keeps changing and by definition self is changeless. Body keeps changing and by definition body is changeless. Vikara should not happen. Vikara means modifications or changes should not happen in the self. Before, during and after everything, self remains the same. That is the basic definition of self. So he says, yes, you have overcome the idea of body, but have you overcome the idea of mind and the emotions and the thoughts that you harbor? Have you overcome that also? He said, now you overcome that as well because mana is also not you. The bundle of thoughts that are always bothering you are not you. They're other than you. As I said, the basic definition. If you can know something as outside you, if you can watch something other than you, then you are not that simple as that. If you can watch your thoughts, then you are not the thoughts. If you can see the book, then book is not me. If I can watch my thoughts, then that is not me. So that is why he says you are not the mind also because you can observe it. You can watch it as something outside you. You can watch your thoughts. You can analyze your thoughts. You can observe your thoughts. It means you are the observer and thoughts are the observed ones. Therefore, you are not the thoughts, you are not the mind. As simple as that, the logic of it. So he says, nirvikalposi. Vikalpa is the nature of mind, thinking, choice, making choices, making decisions is the nature of the mind. But you are nirvikalpa. There is nothing arises in you, nothing dies in you. You are ever steady because you are witness consciousness. The electricity is the conscious witness to the bulbs. Bulbs can be blue and therefore blue light will come, red light will come, yellow light will come. But electricity has no color. These bulbs are causing all that confusion. Awareness filters through the mind, which is full of thoughts and vasanas and desires, and starts behaving in a nice way or bad way. Don't associate yourself with that. Associate yourself with the witness, which is nirvikaraha or nirvikalpaha. Nirvikalpa means no thoughts and no choices. And nirvikara, the next word he uses is bodhatma nirvikaraha. Your true nature is changeless, without any modifications. Therefore, bodha atma, know that as yourself. And then sukham chara, be happy. No, today I got so angry, I was upset. Okay, at that moment your mind got angry. You did not get angry, that is how you have to look at it. Your mind got influenced by certain circumstances, it behaved in a certain way. But you as the self was always changeless. But at that point of time, your focus shifted to the mind. You identified yourself with the mind and not with the self. That's why these jnanis, their anger is also fake, their attachment is also fake. They don't really have anger on anybody, nor they have attachment to everybody. But as ajnanis, we expect all this emotional behavior. Why are you not loving me? Why are you not caring for me? Why are you not paying attention? How will a jnani pay when he doesn't see the difference? How do you expect jnani to be nice to somebody and nicer to somebody else? Not possible. So this text should help us grow into people who can grow beyond these modifications of mind, of attractions and aversions, of vikaras, modifications, and different types of changes. All this should disappear. There should be a steady flow of that connection between the guru and the disciple, which is at the level of the self. Nothing less than that. Less than that will trouble you, because your expectations will grow, and then accordingly your sadness will come and anger will come. So that is the idea. Sukham Chara, if you want to be happy in this mission or anywhere in life, develop this equanimity, develop this steady state of your relationship with your guru or God, without expectations, without desires. And yes, once in a while, guru or God may show some extra affection and grace. That is as per the divine design. We don't expect that from our side. We don't expect that. Like Mirabai says, Chakra rakho ji, Prabhuji mane, Chakra rakho ji, Chakra rahasu, Bag lagasu, Mituta darshan pasu. Brindavan ki kunj galin mein Govind Leela gasu. Prabhuji mane, Chakra rakho ji, she says. Keep me as your servant, O Lord. I don't need to be your queen. Just keep me like a servant. I know I don't deserve to be your queen like Radha or Rukmini or whoever. I am happy to be your servant, Mirabai says. Let me be in Brindavan somewhere in corner. What will I do? Chakra resu, bag lagasu. I will tend to your garden. Because you like gardens, you like flowers, you come out every day, walk in the garden. I will take care of your gardens. And then Mitut Darshana Pasu. Why I am doing that? Because once in a while when you come to the garden and you'll walk around, I can see you from a distance. And my satisfaction is that. I do not want you to keep me in your palace. Let me be a servant looking after your garden, so that when you come for a walk casually with your queens and with your loved ones, I will see you from a distance and I will be happy. Mituta Darshan Pasu, Brindavan ki kunja galin mein. In those narrow lanes of Brindavan, where Krishna lives, Govinda Leela Gasu. I'll sing your glory. I'm not expecting you to place me next to you, make me sit or stand next to you. Just let me be somewhere in the vicinity, somewhere in a corner. Quietly, I'll do what I've got to do. I won't trouble you. I won't ask anything from you. I don't even want to ask you for your darshan. Forget about sparshan, sambhashan. I'm satisfied. Let me be in a corner, doing some little seva. And in that seva, I will be able to once in a while have your darshan. Good enough for me. I do not demand more than that. That is what Mirabai says to Krishna. So that was my attitude. And I was sitting here and I was thinking, look at these children and their fortune. What I could not get. So much I desired for it, so much I craved and pined for it. That let me be sitting in a corner as your staff or a student. That's it. All I want is that. Let me come, enjoy that peaceful darshan and go back to wherever my room and serve in the institute. Wherever you give me little work to do, I will serve from that corner. Enjoy these wonderful programs, your darshan every day. What more do I ask for? Even that he did not give. Because man proposes, God disposes. My life was designed differently. But if I was in a position to trade my place with yours now, I would happily do it. If I can be a student sitting in a corner, just enjoying a little darshan from a distance, and then doing my bit for the mission, and once in a while I am able to get your darshan and maybe a little talk here and there, I don't ask for anything more than that. That should be the attitude of devotees and disciples. So raga dvesha should not develop even with God. Because these Rakshasas are like that, Ragadvesha Rakshasas. Hiranyakashipu, he hated Hari. He loved Hara, means he wanted Shiva because Shiva gave him the boon. And he hated Narayana because Narayana killed his brother, who was misusing the boon in the first place. So these are Rakshasa Pravritti. Ragadvesha is in the mind and it is not the devotee's way of life. Devotee's way of life is equanimity, samatha. And so become like that and be free, he says. See freedom and be sukhi, be happy and free. It's extremely important. Otherwise, this devotion itself can become your bondage. Not only you will bind yourself in it, you will bind the God also and make him also feel miserable. Don't do that. Leave any relationship that does not have freedom, it does not last. Don't make God feel bound by your expectations. ऐसा मेरे लिए वैसा मेरे लिए क्यों कर रहा हूँ? God will get uncomfortable, saying this is always a very demanding devotee. As long as demands are met, he is a devotee. The demands are not met, they lose devotion. The God feels uncomfortable. God feels imprisoned. That should not do in any relationship. Nobody should feel like imprisoned. Relationship should have that dignity, respect, and freedom in it. Only then relationships thrive. Otherwise, they die. So remember that with God also. If you put too many expectations on God, that relationship also will get destroyed. But don't do that. Live without expectations and desires. As I said, even if you have a quiet corner in this hall or in this mission, consider yourselves very, very fortunate. And don't have to ask for anything more than that. When the time is right, anyway, it will be given to you. Adugakavevo manasa, adugu koladi adi aduguna padanani, adugakane pani vadi vadi yagunani, adugani shabarini adarinchade, kataku sadgatine kalaginchade. Will he not give moksha to Shabari who waited forever without demanding anything? Don't ask, oh mind, don't ask. Because when you ask, things don't happen. When you don't ask, things happen. Develop that attitude is what Bhagavan used to sing as a poem. So remember that and don't develop this mind relationship with God where raga dvesha happens. Develop this steady equanimous devotion where you are only flowing like a river towards the ocean. There is no other way in this devotion. So think like that. Next shloka is 15.6, which says, further enhances the idea that who are you then? You are not the body, body is also not yours. You are not the mind, mind is also not yours. You are a Sakshi Bhuta, he told like. But what kind of Sakshi? Is it only existing in you or is it existing in everyone? Is it the same Sakshi Bhuta or multiple Sakshi Bhutas in all the beings? Is the same current flowing through all the bulbs or different types of currents in different bulbs? For that the answer comes in the 15.6 shloka. He says, Sarva Bhuteshu Chatmanam, Sarva Bhutani Chatmani, Vijnaya Nirahankaro, Nirmamastvam Sukhi Bhava. The next two problems for us is Ahankara, Mamakara. Ahankara is the sense of I and Mamakara is the sense of mine. I and mine. So Nirahankara, Nirmama Bhava, he says. Become free of this ego and attachment. I and mine. How? By knowing this truth. What is the truth? Sarva Bhuteshu Chatmanam, Sarva Bhutani Chatmani. That same self is there in all the beings. And all the beings exist in the same self. All the waves are in the same ocean. And the same ocean is there in all the waves. They look different, but they are not different. All bulbs are electrified by the same electricity. And the same electricity exists in all the bulbs. Same Atman, same self, same Brahman permeates everything and everyone. And everyone is existing in that Brahman only. There is nothing other than Brahman. Sarva Bhuteshu Chatmani. In all the beings, that Atma is there. In Sarva Bhutani Chatmani. Chatmanam and Chatmani means they are there in the self and self is there in them. There is nothing else. Now if I show you, as I said the other day, Henry Ford came up with his Ford T model cars. And he says, you can choose any color as long as it is black. It means you have no choice. There is only one color available, which is black. Likewise, there is only one thing available in this world, which is Brahman. We think of it is in different ways, but what exists is actually only one self. It's not even that myself and yourself. No, one Atma only, Ek Atma, Sarva Bhutantaratma it is there. The one self only, like one electricity is running through all the bulbs. It is the same gold which is in all the ornaments. Like that, there is the same self which is in all of us. Whether we are man, woman, rich, poor, young, old, intelligent, dull. In everyone, it is the same self which is there. So where is the question of attachment and ego? What should you get egoistic about? They are also same, you are also same. Externally you are rich, they are poor. But fundamentally, one and the same. So how can you say this is better than that? Likewise, how can you develop attachment to this and aversion to that? Because if you carefully observe, everything is same. So that is the idea that once you know that self is in all, why you should have attachment and ego? Ego that I am superior or inferior, both are egos of some kind. And attachment, this is better and that is not good. So I want this, I don't want that. Where is that going to come from when you don't see differences at all? Panditaha Samadarshina, he says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane, Gavihastini, Shunishchaiva Swapake cha, Panditaha Samadarshinaha, says our Bhagavad Gita. The Pandita, the real knower, sees the sameness in everything. Equalness. What is that equalness? He says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. He is knowledgeable and humble. Why? Because he sees everything as the self. Where is the question of ego? Nothing is bigger, nothing is smaller. Everything is same. So where is the question of ego? So what is this? Brahmane. In the Brahmins, supposedly the intelligent ones, the higher caste ones and all that. And Gavi in cows and Hastini in elephant. It means in all beings. Shunish chaiva shubhakecha. Shuni means dog. And Shwapake means those who eat dogs, means very lowly people who only have dog for their food. Otherwise, they'll eat better things. Even in such people who seem to be living a very wretched kind of lives, even in them he sees the sameness. Panditaha, Samadarshinaha, sees equality in also. He cannot praise somebody and blame somebody, or he cannot get attached to somebody and get averted because of somebody else. No. All of them he treats and experience as the same self. That vision, equal mindedness, Samadarshinaha, that is the idea of the true knowledgeable person, the Panditaha. Those Agyanis, they will see things differently. They will see something is better and other thing is not better. It seems there's a story. Now, take it as a story and not at the face of it. Adi Shankaracharya was there. He went to Kashi as part of his pilgrims, and then he pilgrimages, and he went with some of his disciples. So when he was passing, he was a high caste born, Brahmin and Gyani, and his disciples were there. Like my disciples are there. They keep pushing the crowd this way, that way to make way, without bothering about who is there, whether old man, young man. They are so lost in pushing the crowds. Sometimes I would tell, stop this, look at what you are doing. But in their excitement. So in their excitement, these disciples saw that one Chandala was there. If you go to Kashi, there is a ghat called Manikarnika Ghat. It is the ghat means the banks of the river Ganges. Right outside the Kashi Vishwanath temple, if you go out, you will see that that is the place on the banks where all the dead bodies are being burnt. It is like in a way shmashana, or the burial. Not, we don't bury, so naturally we burn all the bodies in India, Hindu customs. So there you will see, just to step out of the Kashi temple on the Ganges side of it, and you will see right on the left. On the left side you will see many bodies burning, corpses burning, and that is a tradition, that is a ritual and custom. There is nothing called, oh, how can you burn something next to a temple and all. No, everything is Shiva. In Shava also there is Shiva only. That is the idea with which they do. So when you go there, you will see a lot of these chandalas. Chandalas in those days were those who were involved in cremating these bodies, you see. They were not people of some high upper class of the society. They were basic lower, so to say, caste people who were involved in such, in a way, not such sacred acts. Because burning a dead body is not something great. That is given to those people who have no knowledge, no other abilities and skills. So one Chandala, who was this kind of a person, happens to be walking that way. And these disciples get very excited. They say, move, 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 because Adi Shankaracharya is coming. And what does Chandala know about who is he? He went about doing, because that was his job on that ghat. So they tell him, just move away, make way for Adi Shankara. Then Chandala says, whom are you asking to move? This body, which is Chandala, means which is a lower caste or lowly birth wala body. But I am not the body. So how does it matter? And if you are asking the self to move, but then self is everywhere in you, me, in everything, where it will move and go to? And that opens the eyes of the disciples and Adi Shankaracharya. That it was Shiva himself who came to teach that idea of broad-mindedness to the Adi Shankaras, more than Adi Shankara, to his disciples. That while we preach great texts, do we really practice them? Cheppinattu chestara? Do you say everything is Advaita, everything is divine, but do you treat everybody with the same respect? I understand, it doesn't mean you go and hug every Chandala and say you and I are one, not required. But respect should be there in the heart, right? You can't treat them as lowly people. So that was the idea. When he says, you see everybody as you. Where is the question of you preferring something or you avoiding something? Yes, physically it does not mean, don't take it as I said in the Lakir ke Fakir, they say in our Hindi. It means rule, sticklers to the rules. They don't understand the essence behind the rules. Now, it doesn't mean that Chandala will go inside the temple and start doing worships, saying that anyway I and Shiva are one and the same. No, there are rules. You are also human being and the surgeon is also human being, but surgeon is trained to do surgery, so he is inside the operation theatre. You are not supposed to enter there. Does it mean we are discriminating between you and him? Not really. This is what you know, this is what they know. There are roles to be met. Very poor understanding of what is equality, what is justice, what is fairness. It's very, very wrong understanding of things. But a Jnani, a true man of wisdom, would understand the essence of it. Even if a worker comes, they will treat them with the same respect. Even if a doctor comes, they will treat them with the same respect. Even if the teacher comes, they'll treat them with the same respect. They won't differentiate and discriminate there. But work-wise, yes, you have to wear worker's dress, you have to wear a doctor's apron, you have to wear a teacher's costume. That's it. And you have to do your job. So that is the idea, that we do not discriminate. And just because spirituality says all are equal does not mean that you can treat everybody equally on the outside. They have to be treated according to whatever professions and actions they are engaged in. Tomorrow a criminal commits a murder. You tell, don't punish him. Why? Because he is also self, he is also divine. But the one who died also is divine only. No? So what is the way to deal with things? No, deal with what is the action done. Action will have a reaction. Do the right reaction for that. That's it. But do you hate the criminal and do you love this? Don't develop that kind of. Inside should not be affected. Outside, whatever needs to be done, needs to be done. That kind of equal mindedness, who develops? A jnani develops. So what does he say to Janaka? Janaka, remember, in the same self all the beings exist. Like all the waves are in the ocean and ocean is in the waves. There is no difference, so it appears to be different on the outside. So knowing this, become free from all ego and identity, wrong identification, and nirmamaha, free from all attachments, and become happy. Become happy because all are same. They are all sweets made of the same sugar, or candies made of the same sugar. One is red, one is green, yellow, blue. That is just to attract the children. They put colors. You have seen those? I don't know nowadays they sell or not, but when we were small, ice candies, kya barf ka gola bolte the. Basically, there's just plain ice, nothing else. But children will go to that vendor, street vendor who will come. And that time we didn't think whether this was all, mineral water or tap water or what water it was. How was the ice made? Nobody cared. That's how we had such good immunity. Today's children, little one rain happens, all are sick. Too much of protectionism. That time we ate from anything. So this ice gola wala will come and he'll ring a bell. So everybody knows, all kids will be, especially during summer holidays. He's very clever. He will come correct in the late afternoon where children are just waking up from their naps and then they're looking for some excitement. He'll come exactly at that time. Ring the bell, it is quite hot, so everybody will rush to the vendor and circle him and ask for, mujhe yellow wala do, mujhe red wala do, mujhe green wala do. I want the red one, I want the green one, yellow one, I want the purple one. And this fellow will happily be scooping out that ice and the cones, and then he'll be putting only the color. The color is a sugar syrup with some color in it, green, yellow, blue. And you put, some people say, no, I want three colors, mix this, mix that kind of. So people will have different colors. And he will charge everybody the same nevertheless, because for him it is no different cost. Green doesn't cost him more than yellow or red or blue. So he'll make for all the kids. The kids are happy and they start priding themselves. I got the yellow one, you got this orange one, you got the green one. Let it be. That's childish, right? That prattle is childish prattle and comparisons. For the ice vendor, it is the same ice, same sugar. Some colors, essence what he has put is different. That's about it. But that does not make any difference to the ice vendor. That gola wala, usko farak nahi padta hai. Usko iska bhi charane, uske bhi charane. He gets the same quarter of a rupee for this, quarter of a rupee for that. He's happy with that. He goes home, selling all the ice. But we start comparing and then fighting. And then somebody says, you didn't get yellow one. No, then start crying. Next time I will get a yellow one. This is what the Jnani's ways are. They look at the outside and start comparing and crying and getting attached and getting angry. But the Jnani is the vendor who is very clever. He uses all these people's stupidity and sells his ice, which is worth nothing actually. What is the worth of the ice, you tell me? Plain crushed ice. And that color's essence, that's about it. But he happily uses the foolishness of all these kids and sells it nicely and goes. Like that, the Jnani sees through this falsity of the samsara. I am intelligent, he is dull. I am rich, he is poor. I am successful, he is a loser. I am man, she is a woman. I am beautiful, he is ugly. I am very handsome, he is bad looking. All these we have collected in our head like the colors of that ice ka gola. But God, who is delivered us all into this world, he does not see the difference. That's why he is able to accept everybody. Samadarshinaha. He is able to see everything. The other day I was telling how Vivekananda was angry with courtesan who was dancing in the king's court to entertain him. And he got up and started walking, and she said, please don't do this to me. You are supposed to be a jnani. You should not see me differently. Like the piece of, the philosopher's stone knows no difference between the iron that is kept in the altar of God versus the iron that is at the feet of a prisoner, the cuffs which bind him. In both, there is iron only. And when a philosopher's stone touches it, it turns both of them into gold. Like that, you should have equal mindedness. You should not differentiate. So he's telling Janaka, beyond body and mind, when you realize that you are the self, then that self is capable of seeing everything as the same, as equal. And so this discrimination and differences don't arise. Samatha happens, equanimity happens, equality happens, equal mindedness happens. That is the job of a guru, to teach, Sadguru to teach. Samatha nerpune vade. So he's the one who teaches samatha. This is how you teach samatha. So how nicely he has told, body is not you, you are not the body. Body doesn't belong to you also. Mind also is not you. Raga dvesha is not your nature. You are nirvikara, nirvikalpa. And you are the self. And what kind of self? Before you start thinking, I am the only God, I am the only self. No, all are same. There also you cannot discriminate. You may be living a life of renunciate or a monk. They may be grahasthas and those others may be brahmacharis. All of them are divine only. Can you develop this vision? If you develop this vision, what do you gain out of it? Sukhi bhava. You become joyful, you become happy. You do not have any problem. You do not have any issues. Another shloka is quoted here from Ishavasya Upanishad, which says, Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanyeva anupashyati sarva bhuteshu cha atmanam tatona vijugupsate. Vijugupsa means some kind of aversion, some kind of disgust, some kind of fear, or in a way negativity. One cannot develop such a fear, negativity, or whatever negative emotions when he sees everything as the self. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanyeva anupashyati. So everybody sees as the very self. That self present in all the beings, such a person cannot develop any negative feelings for anybody. Again, as I say, it does not mean that somebody comes, a worker comes, you put him on the table with the minister who has also come and feed them together on the same table in the name of equality. No, it doesn't work like that. So people who are of foolish nature, this half knowledge, these unbaked or half-baked spiritualists, they are the ones who are having problems. A jnani will not have a problem at all. He knows whatever is there, it is right, that is how it should be happening. 15.7, the next shloka is, this we all know because we have heard earlier too. Ashtavakra says, Vishwam spurati yatredam taranga iva sagare tattvam meha na sandeha chinmurte vijwaro bhava. Earlier also we heard similar shloka, Vishwam spurati yatredam taranga iva sagare. The whole world is like waves that come out of the ocean. Taranga means waves. Sagara means ocean. So Vishwam spurati, spontaneously it rises. Purati means spontaneity. This world emerges out of that self like the waves emerge out of ocean. Continuously new things are forming, some things are getting destroyed, new things come into existence, new people are born, some people die. This cycle of continuous movement, Jagat, is a part of this creation, just like waves keep coming and going in the ocean. On their own, as if it's automated. Nobody is really deciding, okay, wave number 1, now your turn. The wave number 2, after this you. Nobody is saying like that. They just keep coming and going, coming and going. Like that, in this world also, based on their karma and karma prabhava, people are born, they die, they're born in different families, they do different things, they do good things, bad things, they experience good things, bad things. It is a part of that automatic system. By default, it keeps running. Don't give more attention to that. He says that in this whole creation, the world emerges from the self like the waves emerge out of the ocean. So, tattva mehana sandeha. Tattva, tat means that, tvam, tat tvam eva. You are that. Tat tvam asi, we have heard, right? Shvetaketu from Chandogya Upanishad. He says, tat tvam eva. You indeed are that self. Chinmurte, there is no doubt about it. Na sandeha. Don't even have a slightest doubt that you are not the self. You are the self, not the body and the mind. Chinmurte, you are eternal because ocean is eternal. Waves are temporary. Like that your self is eternal. These bodies and mind and all these changes are temporary. So vijwaro bhava, become free from the fever, become free from the disease of bhavaroga. That is the idea. This fever means when you are feverish, you are not at peace. Your temperature is high, your digestion is not working, you are not able to sleep, you are restless. So get rid of this restlessness. Just because the world is moving so fast around you, new things are emerging, old things are dying, so much is happening all around you. Don't get affected by that. And don't get agitated, don't get restless. Because you are the underlying ocean. All the activities on the surface, like the waves emerging and dying. So your thoughts are like waves coming out of you. And then they will go. After that, another wave will start. That will also disappear. Nothing stays permanent. So even if things are happening inside you, raga, dvesha, all this is happening, don't pay attention. Whatever it is, it will go away. Even if it's the most difficult challenge and challenging thought or emotion that you are right now grappling with, just wait a little more. It will go away. Don't get carried away by that. Just hold on. Just wait. The deepest, most difficult emotion also will pass. Etad api gamishyati, says Krishna. Everything will pass. So just hold on, hang on, and it will go. Because that is the nature of the world. That is the good part. Bad part is the happiness also does not last. Happiness also comes and you want it to hold on for some time. No, it's another wave. It will also come and go. You enjoy it as long as it is there on the surface. After that, it disappears. And then the new wave starts of some challenge or some difficulty. But the good part is that is also not going to last. It will also go away. Pleasure is an interval between two pains, Bhagwan's definition. So everything is temporary and impermanent. So that's a good news. Don't focus on this temporariness of things. Focus on the eternity of the self, which is changeless. Like ocean is not changing. The waves are coming and going. It appears that the ocean is changing. Even when you look at the ocean, what is the color of the ocean? There's no real color to the ocean. Whatever the minerals are there, or sky's reflection, or whichever way the light is getting scattered by that water, based on the density of water, salts, and minerals, that is the color of the ocean. Somewhere it is greenish, somewhere it is brownish, somewhere it is bluish, turquoise, azure. All these are shades. But truly, ocean has no color. If you take that water of the ocean, put it in a clear jar, do you see blue color? Do you see some translucence will be there because of the presence of salts, minerals, and other things. But it has no water, has no color. But when it is in the ocean, it looks like blue, green, and whatever colors. But that's an illusion. That's an illusion. When you analyze carefully, you know there is no color there. Likewise, all these changes and ephemeralities that you see, it is all an illusion. That it is real. This happiness is real. That sadness is real. This opportunity is real. That challenge is real. This profit is real. That loss is real. None of this is real, he is saying. These are all passing. Today it is profitable, tomorrow it will be loss making. Today it is happy day, tomorrow it will be a sad day. Today it's very easy, tomorrow it is going to be challenging. Accept it. Accept it that this is the very nature. And whom should I identify with then? Identify with the ocean, not with the waves. Then you are at peace, because you didn't change at all, because the waves came and went. When wave was born and wave died, you did not die. You were not born. You are always there. Now, this idea itself gives you tremendous mental strength. Yesterday we were talking about psychology and mental issues and weaknesses and all. But this idea gives you tremendous resilience that I am never going to be diminishing, I am never going to be destroyed. But again, don't identify I with the body. Then you are, wrongly doing it. I as the self, who has no name, no form, is unchangeable, indestructible. All other things will come and go. But our problem is that we want the good things to stay. We want bad things to go. But it won't happen like that. Even to demand something like that is unrealistic. It won't happen, so you will frustrate yourselves. Don't frustrate yourself by wrong understanding and wrong expectations. That is how it will be. So deal with it. How you deal with it? Not out of sadness, oh, what a terrible world, nothing works here, everything. No, deal with it with right attitude, right understanding. What is right understanding? I am not going to be affected by all these things. Temporarily, maybe yes, but permanently I am the self which is ageless, which is indestructible, which is eternal, which is free from all modifications and changes. Once you start believing in that thought and you are able to experience even a little bit of it, salpam apyasya dharmasya, Trayate mahato bhayat, says Krishna. Even little of this you understand, greatest of the fears are alleviated. Why? Because nothing is going to be lost, nothing is going to be gained. Today you might have made a few extra bucks, but that's not going to last. You made few new friends, you are enjoying it, but it's not going to last. We are supposed to be free. That's why we all value freedom. In all cultures and civilizations, freedom is the most cherished value. Why? Because our nature is freedom. We cannot enjoy if we are bound. Many people come, these kids come, when they see an open crowd, like mad children, they run this way, that way. Just go mad. The parents are shocked because till now they were well behaved inside the room. The moment they come out in the open ground, without anybody is telling, they just keep running like this. Why do they do that? They want that freedom. An open ground gives them the opportunity to be free. A closed house does not. So imagine all these children caught in those pigeonholes of apartments in these cities. What freedom they will ever experience in their life. So freedom is our nature. If we are bound, we feel restless, we feel agitated, we feel unhappy. If you are free, and best freedom is desirelessness. When you have no desire, you are absolutely free. Desire binds us. And as I keep telling, to me also, this one desire to do good, to help people, binds me right now. If that desire is not there, then I am also free. But as I said, I am bound by a gold chain, you are bound by a silver chain, somebody is with a very lowly desire is bound by an iron chain. That's about it. We are all bound. So Jnani is also bound, he makes himself bound for the sake of others. But the moment the Jnani decides that is enough, that is over. And when that call comes, nobody knows. Nobody knows when that call will come. We are just doing. So when people ask, why do you do? I thought I am not doing, I don't want to do. Meant to happen is happening. At some point in time, it is not meant to happen. It won't happen after that. Neither you are attached to it nor you are detached to it. Both concepts don't exist. For a true Jnani, he sees everything as equal and deals with it as it comes. This is the basic way of a Jnani.